got Austin Lewis coming in right away from one interview right to the next. Let's get to the boxer, the BKFC vet, the MMA vet. If there's a fight sport outside of power slap so far, I think he's done it.
I don't think I'd do power slap though, for sure. Uh-uh.
Yeah, but you've done everything else, right?
Yeah, the next one I want to try to do dirty boxing too. It's pretty interesting.
Does that look fun from your perspective? Marrying the ability to have the 4 ounce gloves on, do a little bit of the spinning, maybe the Superman punches, also with the boxing.
I dig the elbow part of the boxing. I think that would be sick to be able to just be
You dig
close
the
and be able
elbow
to.
part.
Yeah, so you don't, instead of throwing like the hooks in tight, I'd just rather throw elbows and try to knock you out. Yeah, so like ever since more fight last week.
Your Muay Thai game has always been one of the attributes in your MMA game that I like that you utilize the best.
Yeah, and honestly, I think after this fight, I want to try to get a Thai fight after that. And I'm training at here at Kingdom Muay Thai, so it makes total sense. Um, Eventually, it would be sick to get a Thai fight on the same card as my sister. So that's the next goal.
How many goals on the combat sports bucket list that you have you already proudly been able to check off?
Quite a few. I feel like my biggest one was competing in bare knuckle, and I've done that multiple times. And not only have I competed in bare knuckle, but I've fought against the best in the world. So it's pretty dope, in my opinion.
The foray into boxing, is this a complete return to boxing? Is just an opportunity away from bare knuckle at this point right now? Like, where's the career focus is lining up?
Honestly, I didn't even plan on cutting weight this to go down back this low. Um, but the opponent that I got offered, this fight has been supposed to happen for years. So this is my last fight going down to 118. After I fought Chris Garcia, I actually moved up to 135 in that fight. Um, but what I learned in that fight is not to walk into fights at weight. So my goal after this is to bulk up 10 to 15 pounds so I can actually cut to 125. And whether it be boxing, Muay Thai, or bare knuckle, I want to make a run for a belt at 122, 125. 118 is too small.
118. That took that took me by surprise. How are you feeling? How are you doing right now with decreasing the weight to a manageable point for that fight here in about 17 days?
So I started the weight cut at 135, um, which I think my opponent's coaches think that it's going to be a hard weight cut, honestly. Because my last time I went to 115, I missed weight and gave myself a kidney infection and passed out. So I didn't really want to go down that low again. But I got the right team behind me now, and I got like my nutrition on point. And honestly, right now I'm only a couple pounds out, so the weight's on point. I'm feeling strong, and right now I feel like I'm in the best shape I've been in since I fought for my belt in 2018.
It's the legacy continues to the Kiva Auditorium on December 12th. 3 pounds has to make a difference. 118 has to be at least better for you than 115, I'm guessing.
For sure. So I've already I did a test cut at the beginning of this camp, and I made 118 already. Um, just to see if I could do it. Because last time I freaking was cutting, my body shut down at 119 and it just quit sweating. So 119 was the lowest I got last time. And I sat in the sauna for 2 hours trying to still cut at 119, and my body was just not having it. Um, so that's why I did a test cut, and everything's working out. Cherry got, like I said, I changed my diet. I got my sister and Joe back in my corner, so like they got me on point and freaking back to my freaking my dedication and my just staying persistent to the same thing every day.
The fight is going to be against Quentin DeLeon back like 2017, 2018, 2016, somewhere around that timeline, I believe it was. You two were same circles, you two would spar together. Am I around the right time?
Yeah, it was 20. It was actually my training camp when I fought for my belt in 2018. It was like around this time of the year, 2018. So it's been a while.
When when did it become that you two were talking about being competitive? Because when I talked to Quentin, there'd been talk about time he had fought for loss. So it was around the time that the talk had first happened.
That's yeah. So the lion, I got offered that lion fight on like 3 days' notice, and I said yeah because obviously everybody knows me that I'm a fighter and I'm down to fight anybody. So like it doesn't matter if we're friends or not. It's a business. Like so I was gonna be down to fight him because his opponent pulled out, and then they just were not down because we've sparred obviously. Um, and then honestly, when Matt Grego and his dad had the card here in Albuquerque when he fought Jose Villapando, I was supposed to fight him that night. I agreed to that fight, and they turned it down. And he ended up fighting that Jose Villapando dude. And then that's why I was like, all right, let's fight him. So I was supposed to fight him last year, actually, last November. And we made weight, stepped on the scale, and dude didn't show up fight night. I got told after I got my hands wrapped and gloved up that he did a no call, no show. And he's still on the internet talking crazy. But it's like if don't show up to a fight, you can't really, shouldn't have anything to say.
At what point then did the conversation reignite about wanting to fight Quentin? This had just been something, it sounds like, in your mind for a while. When he said he was turning pro, you were looking at him.
I've been looking at him since even the amateur days, like back in 2019, like since that Lions fight, because that striked up a whole thing back in the day, and then that got squashed, and then like now it's actually coming to fruition. So it's actually pretty dope because we've been supposed to have this fight like 8 or 9 times. Like I've been offered this fight that many times, and it's not happened. Now it's actually gonna happen. So that's awesome.
What's it like now for you this training camp? Normally bare knuckle. What's the difference? And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few of them going from the 5-minute rounds to how many rounds are you guys scheduled for?
We got 4 3-minute rounds. So the difference to me is I get to actually sit, like, not really sit back because everybody who knows me and watches me fight, I don't sit back at all and pick my shots. I get in and fight, but I get to be smarter and I can move my head and I don't got to just get my knuckles to their chin right away because bare knuckles crazy. And I feel like it's hard to just sit back and box. Like, you got to put your knuckles on their chin and get to the point and make a statement early on in the fight. If not, they're going to make a statement on you. So, yeah, bare knuckles is just a different ball game. And boxing, I feel like you can use a better skill set. I like the bare knuckle part because you get to use more of like the MMA, like not necessarily brawler, but like the clinch style set. But boxing, you actually get to have to use your ring IQ, and I genuinely think I have a really good ring IQ.
You've now made that walk into the BKFC ring quite a few times. How does that experience then add to that ring IQ?
I feel like it takes the nerves off a lot because you're fighting in front of the entire world, not just your hometown. Um, but then again, and when you're fighting in your hometown, I feel like you got way more pressure because then you got everybody watching you. I typically like to fight out of state because you have zero pressure. You just have your people back home watching. Um, but I just feel like it just kind of takes the nerves off a little bit, makes it just where I can kind of not kind of relax because I've always been like a more of a nervous fighter, but not. I've learned to kind of just taper down and just kind of stay relaxed because bare knuckles the craziest thing you can get into. So what's there to be scared of?
You've done that craziness, so you have the experience with being in this hailstorm, but now you have this other kind of emotional turmoil brought back up from years of speculation and will this fight, won't this fight happen? Is there an emotional aspect or edge to this fight?
I would say to a point, but I'm a professional and you got to keep the emotions out of it. So my biggest thing for this fight is I got to stay patient and create my own openings. Um, and that's my key to victory is patience because I can't if I go in fighting emotional, I'm gonna leave my chin wide open and I'll get caught with something stupid. So patience is the key to victory here.
I wonder how much is activity going to be a key also because Quentin returning, it's been 2 years since the successful pro debut against Villapando for him. And you've had quite a few boxing bare knuckle experiences in that time. How much do you think your activity will be a benefit for you, as we know, constantly in the gym?
I'm not really gonna sit there and discredit him for being out or anything like that because I genuinely think it's gonna be a tough fight no matter what. Um, but I do think there will be a little bit of ring rust because everybody gets ring rust when you're not in there for a while. I've had it because I was there for a while. I didn't fight for like 2 or 3 years. Um, so it does exist. So that might be a factor. But who knows? I'm gonna be ready for anything.
Are you expecting the same guy that you saw him be when he fought Villapando, or are you just imagining to continue to fight the best fighter that you can possibly go against?
I'm trying to just fight against the best fighters that I can get lined up against, and Quentin is undefeated. Makes sense. I'd rather fight undefeated fighters or people with better records because honestly, if you look up my record shows a real record. Every single person that I have on my record is a bad motherfucker. If you go look at my pro debut in boxing, the dude I just or the dude I made my pro debut against just fought last week and won a WBO world title. So like I'd rather take these tough fights than just these easy fights and walk through fights that most people take.
You've always been willing to do that. You've had this jumping into the fire kind of mentality. Where does that come from?
Honestly, the old school fit, uh, the Broadway and Lomas fit, that's freaking brought up some killers, man. Like, I love that place. If it wasn't for that place, I would not be the fighter that I am today. Because it definitely has taught me how to be a dog. I started training there when I was 10 years old, so got that dog in me from Fit and HB.
You've had that dog in you. It's taken you a lot of places. What do you still, you mentioned the Muay Thai fight, but what is there on that bucket list of fight activities that is still biggest to you?
I think the biggest thing I want to do next is capture the WBC Muay Thai title. That'd be dope. And I think I could do it because in Muay Thai, I feel like that's my best discipline. So, like I said, after this fight, I'm gonna start training more Muay Thai again and get back into it and make a run for a belt.
At the beginning of the interview, you alluded to the focus. And we know you as a guy up early, many hours of commuting, you grind at work, you still make it to the gym. What does that mean that you needed to have a almost resolved amount of focus?
Um, it means the world to me because I remember back in the day, people used to always tell me that I couldn't, or that you wouldn't be able to do the things that I'm doing at work and then still be able to go train and do these things like that. You'd either have to figure out one or the other. You can't do both. I've literally been told that since I was a little kid. And 3 years ago, I made the choice of, like, right after Malia, dedicating my life to being a blue collar boy. And honestly, like, whenever she first passed away, I was gonna just be done with fighting and just straight work. And then now I've got myself back to where I'm full on 100% in fighting and full on 100% blue collar. And I just want to show, like, the kids around the world that with hard work you can achieve your dreams.
What do you think it looks like? What does it take? How do you get your hand raised December 12th?
I'm training for a 4 round fight. 'Cause I'll be ready for anything, like I said, but I'm planning to go in there and getting a finish. I've been training hard and I've made a lot of
He's
changes since
awesome.
I just fought Chris. So you guys will see.
He's Austin Lewis, BKFC vet, boxing, soon to transition over to Muay Thai, blue collar, hardworking, hard hitting. And I thank you for the time tonight.
Thanks, sir.
Going to be a huge card. The legacy continues. Number 2, Abraham Perez is in the main event December 12th. Josh Pitbull Torres back in the ring. Christian Cabral, El Puma, not to mention Leonid Grachov, heavyweight from Albuquerque. He's rematching Manuel